a recent patch has come through and has heavily shook up the money. It's heavily shaken up the abilities that can be purchased. And it's going to be an interesting one. A few ghosts being already purchased up. Tax wanting to waste no time here. Minimize as well. Want to get in that early damage. Normally you see... he's taken. He's taken a bit of damage early on. Give me heal. Give me heal. Give me heal. It appears Rosa's shoes are tied again. Shout out to our lovely admins. Rosa, an easy kill. And again, our lovely sponsors this evening as well. LG OLED, LG Ultra Gear, and Vodafone New Zealand. Making this Autumn Cup what it is. And of course, a shout out to you all in chat that are joining us this evening for our last week of competition here for the Autumn Cup. The winner of this, of course, takes first seed in the playoffs. I guarantee, boys, we've got some crazy things to happen for playoffs, and it is going to be crazy close in terms of competition. We are still waiting out the force. Technical issue. Minimize. No, it's a technical issue from Maya. We actually don't have him here. Still in spawn. They're just discussing music. I like it. By Cardi B. Bit of a banger, a bit of a hype up song for this. For, I guess, a situation like this, Bliss, it's going to be an interesting one. 2 subs. We saw Thang, TSR. Normally it's just one of them coming in, but not expected to see both of them. Azo, not able to play due to the Autumn Cup roster lock rules. It's a core of 5 you need. So we might be seeing Azo in, of course, the future, but we won't be seeing him this evening. Ronsky, nowhere in sight. My Shiyu has returned. You see him move his mouse? He's back. He's here. Minimize. Apparently vibing the Cardi B right now. During the pause time, during the game, even, I have to give props to Minimize. Very, I guess, untiltable player. He's a very smart player as well in his own regard. He's the linchpin for this Nebula roster, and well, we look to see how the linchpin sets his troops up for victories. You can see Mai start to move a little bit more. Get the hands warmed up, the fingers, because of course the action's just about to heat up. It's very, very cold, but it's very warm in the server. You can still see ghosts for 4 out of the 5 members here from Nebula. Jesse, they got a light armor classic. Of course, Sage's util a little bit more expensive in recent times. Look to see how that affects both of these Sage players. Toxin's gonna go up early. Precious and TSR gonna be going for some early scout play. Minimize. Also going for a little bit early scout play on that belt. Could be looking for a first initial kill to start this one off on the board. Dax waiting mid push potentially, because you see the wall goes up. Again, we go back to Minimize. Does he have this first initial shot in him? Easy. Trading out Dink though. Minimize. It's a swift first bullet to go his way. Just outside of A for the moment. Tap on Minimize. Taking a heavy blow, but he's able to get away with it. First kill on the board. Thang taken out. That'd be early rotation called here for Bliss. They have, I say early rotations, might have a little bit of a late one. Takes the player through mid. Jungle's taken out. 30 seconds now on the clock, and Bliss aren't even anywhere near a sight. Rolls. That's a crispy tap to Yeezy's dome. And TSR now with Precious to try and take it back. Jesse with a little over the top just to deny the plant. Minimize. And Mai have already found it, and it's Mai. The swift blows, sucks Freshest into the test tube. and dissipates him from the map. It's going to be first round on the board for Nebula. Bliss a little bit slow to, I guess, try and rotate onto a side of the map that favors them. Ares. 4 Ares out for Nebula. You can see maybe 5. There's going to be 5 Ares. Infantry minimize. The captain of his troops rails over it. It's B site. TSR? Gonna be over a peak. Rails. Heavy amount of damage being invested there. Jesse also dropping a ton of bullets through Snake's Bite to come out, jump up top, and it's gonna be taken out. Rails. And they're getting these kills in style. Thing even taking long range. It's easy. Up on the box. Drops down, swarms. Oh, right click. Oh, easy. It's a dink 2 on a mine, but that is going to be all she wrote. Ares, second round for the new meta. Nebula are going to be collecting themselves a second round on the board. And you can see, keeping their economy high. Bliss, though, still with the economy to work with. I'm going to be forcing out some Vandals. Sheriff for TSR. Does have the knives already available. You can see Thang gonna be walking out of spawn, deciding what he wants to get Vandal for him to. Both duelists over at this A site. Tax. B is try to be boosted up onto the wall. Nice spot taken, Tax. There's an aggressive push towards this A site. They've found a few kills early on. Minimize floats over. A turret not going to be spotted. Player here, minimize. Lucky that they took the killjoy out. He's looking to drop, potentially find a Vandal, picks it up. The rest of Nebula, Bliss, have taken this B site. B for Bliss. TSR did pop the knives. It's interesting to see he hadn't actually found any. Major. Sorry, jungle. Jungle on the flank yet again, finding Mai. It's left to Tax to try and find this bonus round potentially. Has done some heavy damage to TSR. Snake's Bite to come out. Stall for time. You can see Bliss, they've set themselves up with this Viper for the post plant. And it's going to be up to Tax to try and lead on. Precious finds it first round on the board. No bonus here for Nebula. But an interesting second round buy from the side of them. Nebula. Not every day you get to see the Ares come into play. As you see, TSR, massive crosshair, massive player.
You better run, Sova.
You better run, Sova, says TSR. He's put threats in early. Tax and minimize. Gonna push early on. This is not what you expect to see of a defense side playing very front and forward. Minimize. Gonna be now left to him. He drops off the belt. With his pants down. Almost. Updrafts available. A little bit more expensive in the cloud bursts too. As Thang tries to walk to the site. Duck flies high over the top. Oh my god, that's a headshot angle from Thang. That's a beautiful
spike down A.
Throw from Jesse. Spike down an A. Easy left statted and left dazed and confused in this round. Jesse has a spike in his hands, and Jungle, he's on the other side of the map completely. Going towards spawn. Spots out Royals. Puts up the poison orb.
30 seconds left.
Jungle. He's got 2 snake bites. Toxic screen to work with. Heralded King of the Clutch.
Poison orb emitting.
A little bit of an awkward position. 3 players around that spike. Not really much you can really do to try and reseek it. 14 seconds slowly ticking
10
down.
10 seconds left.
0, 10. Now on the clock.
Poison's off.
Poison goes off. Poison goes back. Up here for Nebula. They hold on to that spike. They hold on to their round, and they hold on to their 2-round lead. Nebula gonna be losing their bonus, but they will be finding a second rifle for themselves. Of course, look at the economy. We're not able to get the spike plant in any of these rounds that Bliss have lost so far. You can really keep your eye on the economy. Light shields. The 4th to the 5th. 7-1 here for the player we were waiting on to get this game going. But of course, sometimes you can't rush perfection. Tax. Gonna rush a few players in middle in just a second. Fang on the other side of that toxic screen and taken out by Tax. Beautifully placed push. Minimize with a beautifully placed tap. The Guardian looking for a second. He has it atop of this cable car. Takes out Fresh Fist, and now it's easy. It's not an easy task to do so. Minimize. No. Finding beautifully placed taps. My lord. 4th on the board here for Nebula. And Minimize with some nice shots. Royals calling his credit to Bliss. You can see they're now on an economic disarray. Few 50s across the board. Sheriff's gonna be invested because, of course, they don't quite have the money to invest it fully after losing that last one. Keep our eye out here on Minimize. That's one on the cross to TSR. 2 more players to cross. There's TSR up on top of the belt. Tax to find it. Minimize to find it. And another beautifully placed shots. Vandal finds 3. Tax is backed off to safety. Jungle. Sheriff. Not going to be finding anything today. Jesse picks it up. Going to be 5 now to the 1. Eco round. So not much to be expected here for Bliss. You know, as we said, 2 stand-ins, not the most great of positioning you want to be in. The greatest of position, like, the most great, really me. The greatest of positioning. But now, back to a buy. Vandal's out. A few ultimates available for both sides. It's both Viper's Pits. It's the Lockdown, and it's the Empress. Usable. Jesse, though, with a usable weak, is able to get away with it. Jumps across and drops himself to safety. Drops both slow orbs. Fresh is going to pop the res. The Viper's Pit now to the Lockdown. As Rails is just going to stay amongst it. Jesse's caught up on top of the high line. They're a bit slow. This take. Minimize with the high knives. Actually spots out easy. They still haven't checked Rails in this site. Taps come in. Minimize in the site. Gonna be taken out towards the spawn side. This is a little bit of a crazy take because Bliss haven't really got that spike down. They're just trying to go into what Nebula has set up. They don't know that they can just rotate out completely. Thang drops Minimize. Rails rotates out of the site.
Last player standing.
A little bit chaotic. Tax caught on the flank. They're still trying to put the spike down. Rails will finally be dropped by Jungle. And in the end, it's Bliss taking a B site they probably didn't have to go for. They saw the Viper's Pit. They burned the Lockdown. Just go to A. What's the hell? Tax on the flank. Second round, though, for Bliss, nevertheless. Again. Check a scoreboard.
Isolate and
Res to the Viper's Pit now available. Tax going aggressive, it would seem. Shot comes out from Minimize, though. It's Tax fading away with his Phantom. Looking to fade into nothingness, though, as Thang takes out Devour's soul. Devours him whole. Wall goes up for the plant already. SR looking to go hunting in the spawn. My Royals. Jesse auto read saying Well, it's going to be spotted. TSR somehow able to connect the shots. My trades it back to V3 in this site. Slow goes up. And Freshest gonna be taking out mine. Jesse trades it back. It's 1v2. Spike not even all too far gone, but he's not gonna expect Freshest up on the high line. I'm just gonna quickly turn that audio down. Apologies. It's a little bit loud in my ears. I don't know about you. As it's going to be a third round on the board for Bliss. A beautifully played round, I have to say, from Freshest up on top of that nest. Catching Nebula with the verticality that Icebox brings. As we can now see Bliss bringing a bigger
Get out of my way.
to the table. Can we send out our drone early on? And target hit. That's a shot from Jesse. Immediately off of the recon. He's gone for a little bit more, but that's too deep. Jesse. That's too brave. Call him Sum 41. He's in too deep. He's gone. Minimize. For a deep push here into spawn. He's looking for Thang. He will be able to find him. That's not spike dropped though. It's in the hands of Freshest. As Bliss go over towards this B site. Royals Guardian tap. He is well immersed in the shots. You see the dart go out. It's the Viper's Pit. Welcome to my world jungle. Really planning deep in his own smoke. Minimize going to be dropped by Easy. It's a 1v1. It's easy for the ace. Precious. Now it's my V's. My has such an easy angle. Ace collected. Beautifully positioned around here by Bliss. Find themselves another fourth on the board. 3 in a row. Start this one off as we take a step back. Of course, easy to collect those 5. Does now have the lockdown again available in this round. 10 to 6. Minimize. And we can see Marshals for 3. Nebula definitely have been doing a bit of homework in terms of the economy, in terms of the meta, especially with the economy. Tax has got the economy with the shots. It's already found TSR. A few more players to deal with. They're not going to check him up on top of this high line. Minimize. Able to find 2. Can he get this third? Not quite so, but it's all too beautiful nevertheless. Some impressive share of shots. Evened up by Freshest. Guardian out for Jesse. Rez comes in. They know where Thang is. Where Jesse can start to approach. Bang. Headshot. Clean Guardian shots. It's only a nerfed price tag to this gun. It's $22.50. See why players are buying it. It's a sharper Vandal, it would seem.
Spike planted.
Israel's 1v2. The ages here. Player towards that side of default. The player towards the front of Maze. Israel's needs to go quick with it. And he'll be found by Freshest in the end. Securing 4 kills. Securing himself closer to the res that he just used in that round to bring Thang back to life. And, well, Bliss, it's not just the in-game res, it's the out-of-game res here, maybe from Easy, as they're starting to come back to life. We look at our scoreboard, it's all evened up at 5 to 5 here on this first half. Let's see what it means to some of these players. Vandals and Phantoms now available for Nebula. But Bliss, they've got the rest of the money to buy in this half. Thing. Top of the belt would be spotted in just a second. You should run. The lockdown goes to A. And it's going to be up to how Nebula really start to answer for it, because they've lost both their duelists. Mai wasn't able to hit the shots onto it. No Hunter's Fury available, because you have to charge up to 8 now. Easy charges his way up to the Heaven Rafter. Jesse will be taking one more player. Thang. Precious. Angle on the flank.
Your duty is
That's
not
available
over.
for Jesse. This could be very nicely timed though from jungle. They're not gonna expect him in this position. They're gonna be walking in like lambs to the slaughter. One and make it two. Jungle does what he does best on the lurk. That's a 6th round here to Bliss.
Round in the half.
They'll be taking second last round of the half, and now we look to a little bit more of an even score line. The lights starting to shine and turn on here in the Bliss camp. Last round of the half. Nebula, they've got a few ultimates to burn. Dang. On this Reyna. Toxic screen goes up. It's Tax, though, this time in the position. They've changed it with Jesse. They know Tax has the Empress to play with himself. The eye goes out. The Hunter's Fury actually comes out from Maya, but minimized with the knives. And they've done some heavy damage. That's sunk between 2 players. Empress popped by Tax. Royals fading off the peak, and jungle actually going to be fading out of existence. The Tax here, who gets another dink onto Precious. And a tap on a Royals for good measure. We even it up at 6-6. Viper's Pit popped as well for a little bit. Salt to the wound. 6-6. The first half, a very even one at that. Not what we're expected to see, especially of a caliber of Icebox, and especially the way this game started. Nebula looked on top of it. You now see Ghosts. Bliss's map pick, and it's an even scoreline so far. Shorty invested by Easy. Thinking about it. Actually, might be opting for the util. He's actually dropped a Ghost to his teammate. I believe. Yeah. No, he's got a Shorty. I'm actually confused. He's bought a ton of util. They're looking for a mid cross. It's minimized up on top of the tube here. Looking for another on the Easy. He's up in the kitchen and minimizes. Actually getting shot from the back line, but he's still able to find TSR. Easy. Oh, Easy trades. It would seem into the side. Jesse's pinned against the wall. The alarm bot goes off. It's triggered. Minimize has been spotted. Starting to look disastrous. Tax is the last player standing, will fall to Freshest in the end. It's a Bliss plant for Nebula. We've dubbed it a Bliss plant. They like to plant for mid. It's, of course, a cheeky little mid play. 7 now on the board for Bliss. As they start to climb slowly back into this game. It was 5 in a row in the last half. Nebula took the last, even at the 6-6. Nebula now to their eco. This is where the economy starts to get tested on the attack side for them. Few pistols in play. Marshall out.
Here.
Checking the pipeline. Checking the plumbing. Shot out from minimize though. Blink, you'll miss it. TSR falls by the wayside. Thango on a high line with his bulldog. Could be finding one that's freshest though to be finding it. Oh my god though, Jesse! Right click point blank to freshest. Drops the wall. Able to drop the plant for free, Mai. Able to retrieve the Vandal for free. This is eco for Nebula. And they've gotten away with so many kills. Jesse with his classic. Now a retake to come in. They're trying to sneak in. Jesse. Missed opportunity this time with the shot.
There they are.
Mai will find it. Recon fires off. They've actually got the spike just completely planted for them. It's going to be up to Bliss to go over the top. And they will not be able to go and do so. Thrifty round stolen by Nebula. And again, our game goes a little bit more even. Bliss out at a tight scoreline yet again, and they're now in a bit of a discrepancy. They don't have guns to work with in this round.
My ultimate isn't ready.
This is where Nebula could start to kick the pace back off and minimize. You don't normally get to see a jet come out from him. Having a bit of fun with things. Of course, I believe Calf, their current jet player, at least over in the VOC. Nebula looking to get revenge for maybe their round of 16 closure here. Minimize the help of his two teammates, able to find the first. Tax looking to walk onto a second, finds TSR and sets this side a light jungle. Able to tap some pistol shots in. Easy, gonna be taken. Jungle drops as well, all feeding the ego of Tax. He's now secured the Empress. Minimize has secured the knives. They've got a ton of room to work with now. For this 9th round, and Bliss, no ultimates available. They've got part of them crazy close though. Thang has the Empress almost. That's just almost with the res. You can see bonus Bulldog. Knives minimize. Sync them, find the demise. Tax here to help him out. He has spotted one on the Precious, but doesn't expect Thang in his position. No, he's going high for Precious anyway. Jesse caught. Tax not look at his angles. Bit of miscommunication maybe for the Nebula side. If Bliss are able to bounce on the opportunity, even it up yet again. They're not gonna check. Rails up in his nest. I think it's going deep. Rails has gone uncontested for the moment. Flawless, though, hold from Bliss. And you saw the Empress pop by Tax. The knives popped to nothing. Goes the way of Nebula. And this is going to be 8-8, and even scoreline. You can see both of these teams really good on this map of ice spots. You can see as immediately as Nebula sting themselves back a lead, Bliss start to adapt. They start to work out the play. Even with 2 subs, they're still going toe-to-toe with Nebula. This is a very interesting start. Not every day you get to see a team with 2 subs really go this close. It's the revered champion team like Nebula. Bliss find out easy. Gonna be Tax though to drop. Float around. The drop down's been heard. But Thang just has to play this angle. Doesn't have to overpeak into any duels. The Aldrin down. Thang trying to steal away the vision. Minimize slowly with the vision to walk to the site. Smoke cloudburst goes down and jungle finds the shots. It's a few players amidst the smoke. It's Royals taken out. It's mine now. The last player left as the spikes dropped at A. TSR drops and jungle fallen as well. Starting to trim the trees a little bit. My 30 seconds, 1v2, make it 1v3 as the res comes out.
I have the spike.
An ultimate not most available. Oh, tap, my lord, my! He still falls. But in the end, it's 9 to fall in the favor of Bliss. And you can see it's starting to come and click for this Bliss side. We can see 14-10, 13-10, 13-15. Thang's having a good game. Filling for the duelist role. TSR's a little bit out of sorts still. That's, I guess, a testament to Bliss's team play. Even with TSR not having the most stellar of performances on this jet so far, then still able to find these rounds. Peek, minimize. This is a bit of a half by for this Nebula side. Snuck themselves up deep. That's just Thang collects 2 kills here. They try to collect this B site. Drops another player. Jesse falls. Rail's up in kitchen right now. Alarmbot has been triggered. That's position given. Poison orb. Am I trying to plant this spike? It's going to be swung by TSR. Beautifully positioned. Back down at Bien Rolls. He's been spotted by the alarm bot. He's been spotted. It's a team ace across the board for Bliss, and that's what you want to see them getting into it. 10 now. Bliss slowly climb their way into almost victory here. They're starting to put together the pieces. Poison orb being held by jungle. Nebula. Their hopes being held by Bliss's hands right now. Shots to come out. Nebula. We're gonna go towards this B site again. This time all 5 grouped up with Vandals. Wall goes up. I'm not sure if they're able to plant in that. It's a little bit thick. Wall bang from CSR. Damage being dealt. They're actually able to plant in the nick of things. Mai's actually able to find the first kill. It's quite chaotic. Viper's pick goes down, but TSR has been uncontested for the moment. It steals away a kill before the Viper's pick goes up, and it's now going to go down from Precious to find it. You will not kill my allies. The res comes in. Thang's on this flank line. And Minimize, does he know it? He needs to fight the spike plant. It's Precious finding all the shots right now. And that's going to be another round of Bliss. Very nicely timed on the Viper's pit from Nebula, but in the end, it's Bliss finding another round. It's 4 in a row. I don't know how many more Nebula can give up. It would be 2. And Bliss take this first map. This is, of course, their map pick. And their defense side is looking really, really solid. 2 subs. And this is what they're able to do. I'd hate to see it with their core of 5. Fortunately, I don't have a core of 5 anymore. Ronsky has recently departed the roster. Azo to be picked up in his place. Nebula looking to pick up the pace towards this B site. Operator out for TSR. Does have knives too. Easy to spot. Up top. Shot from TSR. Pops out the knives. My shoe pops out the Hunter's Fury. This is a long awaited ultimate. Actually does tag up TSR. I'm actually able to find him. Beautifully placed there by Mai. Nebula look to take the B site, take the long range engagement. Jungle down to 44. Precious. Ready to hold the site with the rest of his teammates. They're peppering bullets into this wall. Rells is going to stick it because he has another thinly placed deeper wall in front of him. Tap from Tax. Able to fall off. Played behind the default position easy. Tries to find it. 1 down, 2 more to go. The Viper's pit pop by Jungle. It's left to Mai. 3 points of HP. Walks into the Viper's pit down to 1. Extremely low and being hunted by a few members of Bliss. Easy is going to be found, though. Mai hasn't been checked for the moment. Jungle, though, to spot it. And that's going to be Bliss securing another round here. And they secure themselves match point. Jungle, I have to say, this Viper has been absolutely pivotal in setting Bliss up for these retakes and setting up Bliss for these holds. You can see now, 5 rounds in a row, match point here in this first map for Bliss. Even with 2 stand-ins, you can do it. Bliss, they prove it. That's a team play across the board here. Oh. Poison orb goes down mid. Then Thang now in a deep position. We'll be spotting out Tax. Tax doesn't know he's up here either. This is very nicely timed. Peekaboo onto the rope. Thang drops him. He's gonna get the overheal. He's gonna get himself out to safety completely. There's no way he gets away with that either. Minimize to fly over, but will be spotted again by Thang. This is so beautifully played by him. Morel's trying to sneak into the kitchen, but now he's just giving up his position. ESR with the operator. Needs to be a surgeon with his shots. Bessie with the Guardian. Maya with the Vandal. To approach B in a moment. It's just easy looking for a little peek in the mid here with TSR. As soon as they hear the sentry turret go off, they know. And they're looking to swarm this site. Wall goes up. Shots on the wall bank to go in. I have actually tagged the player low. Lockdown goes in. The heal comes out, but this lockdown actually starves the side of Nebula for positioning, because they're going to have to walk all the way back in a Thang who's all going to line them up, only able to find one jungle. And now the rest of his teammates enter the site. It's Rails now to do it all with the Snake's Bite. Flies out wide. Shot from Rails, but he's tagged in the back. It's Jungle to sink the bullets between them and sink Bliss into a first round victory here. 13-8.